Well, after a bit of a hiatus, welcome to RideMSTA once again. And today we are having a special broadcast because today we're going to recap some Bonzai Rally and we are going to talk about long distance rallying. So I brought in my favorite long distance buddy, Scott Finn. He's our member from Wisconsin. Say hi, Scott.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Rob. Everybody knows me. I'm just the fat guy that shows up to events. So the rest of our team is having a good time at Star. I hope everybody is having a good time at Star. I'm bummed I can't be there, but life 2025 has been a struggle. So instead of going to Star, Scott and I are going to talk long distance rallying, and then tomorrow we're going to go play at Slimy Crowder Run.
Perfect.
We have.
I haven't seen you since May. It'll be nice to see you in the flesh.
That's right. Then we can talk more shenanigans for next year because
right. It's true.
Bonzai's coming back and it's gonna be
a lot
fun.
going on, right? It's a lot going on.
So we're gonna start out with a little bit of recap on the Bonzai. So Bonzai Rally this year, Riley mastered by Scott, of course, and hosted by Glacial Lakes Motorcycle Club. Hey, I got it right this time.
Good job.
For anybody that doesn't know, there's a running joke because
I always want to call it Great Lakes. You know, it's Glacial Lakes, right?
I went through and I watched the site just to make sure.
Perfect.
But yeah, fantastic group. If you guys are into long distance riding at all, check them out. I mean, them, Team Strange. If you're into this rally lifestyle, you guys will know them. So for anybody watching, because I know we have a lot of newer members in the Facebook group on MSTA, I know the two worlds usually blend together, but for those not familiar, long distance rallying is, I'm sure you've heard the term iron butt rally. That's long distance rallying. Think of a giant scavenger hunt on two wheels. Bonzai Rally, it's a 10-hour rally based out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. So that's your bite-sized, hey, come get a taste of this and then get hooked. And our evil, devious rally master, Scott, did a fantastic
I'm
job
not that
this year.
evil, but at any rate, no. And Rob, one of the things that I try to explain what this whole rallying thing is because everybody thinks I'm a little bit off. Well, and that happened before, and when that happened before that I did, before I told them about this whole rally thing. But one of my friends described it. It's like the UPS problem. The UPS truck has a whole bunch of packages in it, and they can't deliver them all in one day. So what they have to do is deliver the highest value, as many of the high value packages as they can. And the higher the value, the better they do. So it's kind of like that thing. And I think for me, that's the piece I like about it the most. It gives, first of all, it gives me a reason to ride my motorcycle. I mean, it's fun to just kind of go out for a ride and bang up some roads and everything else, but it's also fun to, even if it's artificial, have a reason to ride somewhere. Oh, I'm riding here. Oh, I'm riding there. And I believe that all rally masters, including me, attempt to find interesting spots. I'd like to talk a little bit about that too. And then I have the distinct advantage of being able to plan a rally in La Crosse, which is part of the Driftless region that happens in Southwest Wisconsin, northern Illinois, Northeast Iowa, and southeastern Minnesota, where you have to look really hard to find a bad road. So my goal for this rally in 2026, as it's coming up, it was a 2025 goal as well, but my specific goal is to make every road twisty. So I think it's going to be a really fun rally in 2026, but you wanted to talk about 2025. So I hijacked that a little bit, but that's kind of how I feel about it. But I'd really love to hear your perspective on the 2025 rally, and then I'll give you mine back.
So the first thing I'll say is you actually did a very good job on the bonus points and getting us onto some really scenic roads. And like you said, you get over there, it's really hard to find a bad road. Even main numbered highways are.
You have to work at it, right?
Yeah. And I did make a couple of mistakes where I had to shortcut some stuff and ended up on some, straight interstate type highway for a little bit.
That's how it
But
goes, right?
yeah, and they were my mistakes. And it, other than that, it was just scenic everywhere I went. There was.
It's a beautiful part of the Midwest. I mean, I know that it's completely different than like the Rocky Mountains or, even the Appalachians, someplace like that. Like you talk about, I've been down to Deals Gap and that area, North Carolina, Tennessee. It's absolutely stunning. But for not having mountains, this is pretty good.
See, the funny part, and this may be a little bit of bias because I grew up
Oh,
down
I'm
there.
very biased. So yeah,
Oh,
good. Go ahead, do
well,
your
this
bias thing.
this is opposite bias though. See, I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah.
I grew up riding in the Deals Gap area, the Smoky
Okay.
Mountains. That
Right.
was our playground. I love it. I absolutely love
Yeah.
it. And I've been all over the U.S. I mean, I've ridden in the Rockies. I love Pacific Northwest around like Idaho, Washington,
Never
Oregon,
been
that
there.
area.
Right.
Oh, it's gorgeous. But
I've never been there on a motorcycle, I should say.
the driftless region to this
Yeah.
day is probably my favorite area to ride.
I mean, it is awesome because the roads are, in general, they're pretty good. I mean, the quality of the road is pretty good, and there's just nobody out there. You can pretty much do whatever you want. I mean, I remember you and I riding through Wildcat Mountain State Park one time, and that got a little frustrating. If I'm remembering right, somebody said, yeah, Rob was having kittens.
Oh,
I'm not sure, but at any rate, in general, you don't encounter a bunch of traffic, so it's not just scenic, but you even have an opportunity to gaze around a little bit.
so Wildcat Mountain, if anybody not familiar with it, it's a little bit of an anomaly in the driftless. So that's our Deals Gap. It is very tight, very technical, but there's a
Not as
state park.
long.
No, not as long by any stretch, but there's a
Right.
state park right at the top in the middle of it, and it's a busy state park. And you can get a clean run through there. And keep in mind, none of us were hammering. We were in a group that day, so I mean, we were playing around, but
And plus, I was in the group, so if you had hammered, I would have seen you 5 miles ahead. So that's how that goes.
oh, we're not
I'm
that mean.
slow. Anyway, yeah. No, you're not that mean. You weren't mean at all.
But
You gave me a lot of crap about the car tire. But anyway, away we go.
I do have to. I have to clarify the I was having kittens though. I'm leading the group through, and these are all blind corners, and we get behind this little blue. I think it was a Nissan, some little Nissan Versa or something, and this car is going like 10. We cannot get away from it. We cannot slow enough
There's
because
no
there's
there's
nowhere.
no way to there's no way to change. There's no
No,
way to pass. There's no way to do anything.
and there's no way to pull off to the side because it's all blind corners with no
Right.
shoulder.
And
So
in the car's defense, they couldn't pull off either.
yeah,
They
but they could have stayed in their damn lane.
That's true. That's
That
true. I'll give you that. Yeah,
the
that's
whole
true.
time this car is like drifting completely into the other lane on curves in at really slow speed. Like they were all over, and it was it was getting frustrating because we can't get around them. We can't stop to get away from them, and otherwise we're running the risk of getting hit from behind. It's like,
Right. Right.
dude, you're gonna hit somebody and they're gonna end up in us. And he did. He missed a few by
Right.
millimeters.
He was crossing the mustard all the time. So
Yeah, we finally got through to a point where we could pull off. There's a county road afterwards. That's where we all pulled off. And it's like, okay, we distance. And the funny part was is we went through again later and we got behind this big meaty
oh no.
bulldozer with the giant wheels. And he stayed perfectly in his lane the whole time. So this
And probably went
giant.
fast enough too, right?
Oh, he was. I mean, he wasn't flying through there, but I mean, he kept it in his lane. It's like
Right. That's all
I
you gotta
was.
do.
Yeah, it's like that's it. Just stay in your lane, please. Don't hit other
Exactly.
cars because then
Exactly.
yeah. And that
I know that you and I have had some issues with emails back and forth. You're not getting mine, but I actually did send you an email that teased you because I got personally 2 clean runs through Wildcat Mountain, one way, one each way, with no cars, nothing in front of me, nothing behind me, both times on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. So I'm like, how did the gods were smiling on me because that just doesn't happen. So, but I said, I think the subject of the email was salivate, Rob, because
and it to all of our listeners, I've had a really hard time getting down there this year. Um, yeah, so I've gotten one clean run through there all season, and I will say though we did have fun through that run. Despite the
that was a
yeah,
nice run. Yeah.
but me,
Great group of guys. Great group of guys.
well, me, Matt from Toma on his BMW R9T, and Carl on his Royal Enfield Interceptor got a clean run through there, and might have taken a little bit more advantage of it than we should have. For
That's
for
okay. It's
anybody
all fun.
wondering,
It's all in fun.
you can touch pegs through a curve on a BMW GS. Just saying.
I'm sure you can. Why wasn't Carl on his BMW?
The day he came out and rode with us, he
Yeah.
just wanted to play with the Royal.
Yeah, I get it. All right. So we digress. You talked about the rally and how it was fun, nice roads, right?
Yeah. So we go into. I haven't done a long distance rally in several years. Because life happens. Scott hit me up and told me about him taking over this Bonzai Rally this year. It's like
It's been a
that's
rally for years. They've done this for years. So I certainly didn't invent it.
yeah, but he did take it over, and he did a fantastic job as rally master. Anybody who does this goes in expecting that there's going to be some little secrets or quirks or things to kind of get you thinking and mess around to make it fun, and it's fun that way, and that's exactly what he did. So we come in Friday night, or Saturday night, sorry, because it was Memorial Day weekend, and we had an optional riders meeting. I will tell you this after the rallies that I've done. If your rally master says we are having an optional riders meeting the night before and you don't go, that's failure one. Always go to the optional riders meeting. Um, One part of that is he was offering to give us all of our rally packets, which is all of our bonus locations, points, values, things like that, and all of our GPS coordinates and everything that night, which gives you all that night now to plan your route. With one twist. He mentions before we leave, don't be surprised if there is a twist in the morning when you get here. And twist there was, because he pops up with yet another packet of extra bonuses. And we're going,
Yep.
oh!
Shoot. And I've thought about that, and I'm moving toward the notion that I'm not sure I'm going to do that again.
Oh, it's fun though.
I mean, it was fun, but I think maybe a better twist would be to add some things that wouldn't necessarily change your route. Because I mean, I think there's value in putting together that route, and for a person to say, a rally master say, here's the route, and then give you something in the morning that completely can change what you spent several hours planning. I don't know. I just have some mixed feelings about that. But like, I was in a rally this summer. I did the Dog Days rally in August, and they gave us everything on the night before. And then their twist in the morning was that this rally was run out of Brainerd, Minnesota. And that is like Paul Bunyan country. So there's statues of Paul everywhere. And Paul had an ox called Babe. And for whatever reason, there are babes, statues of Babe everywhere. So their twist was we'll give you 25 points for every statue you take a picture of Babe, which I thought, okay, so you're just riding along your route and you see a babe, you pull over, you take a picture, away you go, you know, and so that seemed like a reasonable twist, but I felt like my twist it changed your route, and that kind of bugged me. But you liked it,
It
so away we go.
it kind of depended on how you routed your rally and what bonuses you were going
That's
for.
true because all it really did was put together bonuses that were already there. So
Yeah. So like on mine, I looked at the secondary bonus sheet and there was nothing I was going to be able to put together easily. But that's because of the way I routed my rally. I had picked a very weird set of bonuses to kind of chase after, and the way I chained those bonuses together, it was because I ended up putting on I think pretty close to the most mileage. I mean, I think I was like fourth
you're
or
around
fifth on mileage,
400, weren't you? Yeah.
and it was um that was part of my goal is I wanted to hit all four states.
Yep.
And the way the morning bonus packet ran, if I'd have focused on some of the other original bonuses, you could have just chained them together and it would have worked perfect. So there were several people that did get the second day bonuses,
Hmm.
and it was
They
just
did.
it was purely because of the way they ran their route.
And
So
that's what the winner did. I mean, that's what the winner ultimately ended up doing was just chaining those combos together, and that's how they won. It was close though.
yeah,
We had a rookie that would have won, but he missed a bonus. He had a bonus denied. Had he not had that bonus denied, he would have won. But and so I felt bad. I still feel bad about that, but not really. But
that's how
anyway,
rallying goes.
how the ball bounces, you know. So away we go.
I mean, we'll get into it more in a bit of a recap, but I left some points on the table over stupid mistakes too. It's rallying,
Hmm.
it happens. You just shake your head and go, I can't believe I did that.
Right.
And away you go. And then I had one bonus that I failed because I didn't know there was construction in lacrosse. And I had enough time without the construction, but to make the detour would have been an extra 45 minutes, and it was just not going to work. I was
What
like,
a
oh,
mess.
that was dumb. But once again, rally planning. Plan your route,
Right.
ride your plan, and make
Hmm.
sure you've looked through all of that. My failure there actually came from the fact that I realized toward like probably three quarters of the way through my day, hey, if I can get this bonus on the way back in, I can chain this group of bonus points and get this. If I get that location, I can do this additional the combo bonus. So for anybody listening, a combo bonus, you've got here. I'll
Well,
show
maybe
you.
explain what a bonus is. You don't even, you know, did you even, do we even
I
talk about what a bonus is?
I did not. So let me pull up. I actually have. Where did my? There's my page. I have a picture of Rally. So this was the Sunday morning twists
Can you
bonus.
turn it?
No, Facebook won't let me turn them.
It's too bad. Bummer. All
And I
right.
don't know why it loaded it sideways like
That is kind of weird.
that. So basically, when you're doing these rallies, you're given a list of locations and something to do there. So on your, you'll have a what each location is a bonus. That's your initial points value. So it might say, take a picture with your rally flag in front of the sign for, in this case, let's say a restaurant. Because Scott likes food. We did a lot of food
Yep.
based bonuses.
Yep. Food based bonus. Not this year, but last year.
Yeah. Oh, we did a ton of restaurants. It was so much fun. But it'll say, take a picture of your rally flag in front of the sign for this restaurant, or in front of the statue at this ice cream joint, and that's your initial points value. Then you'll have stuff like what you call combo bonuses. Now, combo bonuses will say, okay, take a picture of, you'll have, say, three Mexican restaurants, or a Mexican restaurant and an Italian restaurant and a Asian restaurant or something like that,
Right.
and it'll give you a combo. So that's another set of points. Like in these, you can see Minnesota sequence. These numbers here were bonus numbers. So if you get all those, it gives you that additional points value. And he had some fun ones. I wish I would have taken a picture of the full rally packet to pull up, but there were there were some really funny ones in there. Like was it date night?
Yeah, date night was one.
Indigestion. Actually, I think indigestion was
Indigestion,
one of the
right?
ones I
I think
got.
that was the Mexican, the Italian, the Chinese restaurant, and
Yeah.
and one of the bars was indigestion. That I was clever. I like that. I like that one.
Oh, that was fun. I am pretty sure I chased that one. Um, but yeah, that's what the bonus structure looks like, and then you'll have other like sequence bonuses, like you see over here for, if you get so many of these, then it all works as combo bonuses. And a lot of these you can chain together, so you may get enough for, let's say, I think it was three tacos or something was one of them. You could,
Yeah, three tacos.
and then if you added another one, you could get the four tacos bonus. So now you get the points for both of them. So, and it's going to be different in every rally, but that's the basic structure of how bonuses work. You've got
Well, and it's a photo, and then the ones that can sometimes be a little bit more sinister are you have to answer a question.
yeah.
So you go to a place like excuse me, like for example, ride to this park, and in the park, in the middle of the park, there's a cannon, and there's a sign on the cannon. What you know, what time? What was the last year the cannon was shot? And you can look on that, and the picture, and the plaque might say this cannon built in 1907 was last shot in 1922, and people would come back with 1907. Didn't
Yep.
say what time, what date was it manufactured. It said what date was it last shot, and so that was, those are the kind of things that I didn't incorporate in this route in the 2025 alley that I will in the next rally. So I think part of the thing with the bonuses too is that reading comprehension is paramount, and that's the thing. That's where I mess up all the time. The rally master typically gives what he thinks, or he or she thinks, are very clear instructions, but not everybody reads them as carefully as they should. So
Well,
at
and
any rate, that's
you're
kind of the fun. That's kind of the fun on a bit.
and that is because what a lot of people don't realize when you're doing these is you're on a clock. Like you've got a
Right.
limited window of time to get back to wherever the final point
Right.
is or your
But I
checkpoint.
just want to say this while you're talking about that, you can't speed.
Right.
We check, just we keep very good track of odometer readings and everything else. And if you're doing 70 miles an hour on a 55-mile-an-hour road to get from A to B, if that's what your average is, then that could lead to a disqualification. These rallies are
Right.
not at all ever about speeding. They really aren't, and speeding is greatly frowned upon. I just want to throw that in there. This is not a race.
Right.
This is a scavenger hunt
And it's 100% all about your management of time and your management of your bonus
of your route
locations and your route. It is
and your motorcycle,
right.
because we had three motorcycles, basically break, so they didn't finish. At any rate, it's those three components,
I'm gonna make a
and
joke here about how they were all Harley Davidsons.
they weren't they? I forgot
Yeah.
about that. They were all Harleys. I didn't even think about that.
So I know some of the guys that watch
Hmm.
LDX Rally and whatnot, they'll see the Harleys making it, but how many times do we see? This is a sidebar note.
No, you know what, Rob? I would take this. I would just Move on. These two nuns walk into a bar. Yeah.
I watched it with the IBR this year. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but anyway,
Yeah.
we yeah, that's how the bonus structure works. That's how the rally structure works. You don't speed, and the reason they really emphasize that is because this all started with the Iron Butt Association way back in the day, and they have had a perfect track record over the years. I'm not going to say that people haven't had accidents. I mean, accidents happen, especially when you're covering this kind of distance and mileage. But as far as accidents resulting from excessive speed or issues with the police departments, things like that, this is not the cannonball run. it is
No.
it is very stressed that safety is paramount. So going into that, if you think you're going to come
Well,
out
and the
here and
other
do
thing is that my experience is that the people that I've ridden with in these alleys are some of the most capable riders I've ever been around. So that's part of the reason I like this group, because I appreciate the commitment to safety and riding a well maintained motorcycle and doing all of those things. So at any
well,
rate.
and a lot of that comes back down. If the funny thing is when you get into the long distance community, and I'm going to say over all of my years of being involved in motorcycles, and MSTA as a club, we heavily blend together because a lot of the people that are in MSTA are into this stuff. You know, sport touring riders kind of invented this whole thing, so it's they are some of the most welcoming people you will ever find. The long distance
That's
community,
true
the sport
too.
touring community, it is like I feel home with all of them, and they will throw their back out trying to help you in a New York minute. Like they're fantastic. And it doesn't matter what you ride. It doesn't matter what your experience level is. Like we had new rookies in here that had never done a rally, and you had just a group of experienced ralliers helping them do routing and showing them how things worked and helping them plan their trip. And it, you know, it, yes, it sounds like a competition, but really the only competition is with yourself.
True.
So, and that's the mindset
Somebody does
everybody has.
win, so it is a somebody wins, so it is a competition, but it's almost like kind of like running a marathon. There's only a very small subset of people who are ever going to win. So when you run a marathon, you're running for yourself. And I feel like long distance riding is similar in
Oh,
that
very,
regard.
very, very much so. But that's like I've been to racetracks. You're not going to see very often other teams coming over to help. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I've been there and it does, but not to the level it does in this community. Like there is no air of um the sportsmanship is really high in the long distance community. Like
It's true.
what can we help you do to to do your rally safely and complete it to get through it? And they did. Like there was the couple of ladies in this picture right there on the end of the table. This was their first ever long distance rally, and about half the people in that picture were there. This picture is from the riders meeting Saturday night, and half the people in that picture stuck around really, I mean, several hours and helped them. You know, hey, this is how you route. This is how you get your GPS files into your thing, and like we all
Right.
dove in, and I was really sad that they didn't finish. They were two of our breakdowns, and
No, one of them broke down,
oh,
not
that's
both.
right, yeah,
Just one of them. Right.
and they were running together, so they kind of both dipped out together,
Right. Yep.
but everybody was there. Everybody was throwing in with them. So yeah, this was from Saturday night. This was our riders meeting. Not everybody that ran the rally was there Saturday night,
Hmm. Yep.
and I bet you that a few of them wish they would have
Right,
been.
right. I mean, well, we'll see. But I mean, we ended up with about 25 riders. That there were about 30 that's signed up, and about 25 actually came and rode the rally. We had some people that got sick before and had other things happen and couldn't make it, but
Yeah.
I was happy. I was happy with the turnout. I'd like to grow it a little bit this year, but we'll see.
I think, yeah, and I think now that people have seen, with when anytime a rally switches hands, there's that air of uncertainty. And after you did such a fantastic job on your first year as rally master, I think
Mhm.
that's going to bring in more people. But
I hope so. I mean, it was and I will say too, it was a whole bunch of fun being a rally master. So I'm very, I feel privileged that I get to do that. So and it's going to be fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm already working on next year's rally. I've got it somewhere between a third and a half planned. So I'm having a blast with it.
yeah, so this picture was from Sunday morning, before rally start. So when the rallies kick off, there's going to be a meet time. Usually, your rally master will do one more riders meeting, especially if the riders meeting the night before was optional. You're going to get any additional bonuses, and final instructions for the rally, and the clock drops and off you go. So as you can see, Sunday morning we had quite a few more people than there were the night before, and it was a wild mix of bikes too. Like I know one of
It
the
really
guys that
was.
yeah one of the guys that ran in the rookie class was on a Kawasaki Z900.
I know, and he almost won.
I thought he did.
No, he didn't win. He won the rookie class, but he was like right behind the guy that won.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because yeah, he took the rookie class because I came in third,
Right.
and then yeah, and he'd never been to a rally. This is his first one.
No. And the funny thing about that is that a friend talked him into it, and then the friend
Yeah,
got sick and didn't show. So
but it sounds like he had a ball doing it. So,
I think he had fun. Yeah, I hope they come back.
and I will say he probably had it a little bit of advantage, and I know because I ran into
Yeah,
him.
hometown advantage, right?
Well, that and I ran into him a few times. I know he wasn't really blazing trails, but that bike he had nothing on it. It was small and light. I
Hmm.
watched him get on and off that at a stop once, and it was
Yeah.
like he was off
Bam
and back
bam.
on before I got my rally packet out.
Exactly.
That guy was moving on
Hmm.
his feet. So, there's something to be said about that small, light little bike. But you look at everything else out there. I mean, we had BMWs, we had cruisers, we had the whole shebang. So,
Another Yamaha. Yeah, we had everything.
yeah, I think there was like, what, two FJRs that ran?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember, but there were that. There were Gold Wings, Electroglides.
Yeah.
Um, it was great. It was a wonderful mix of bikes.
So, Scott had a really cool first extra bonus. So, we talked about Mexican restaurants being one of the group of bonus locations, and he gave us um, a combo bonus if we all met at the very first one, and this was about what 5 miles south of the rest
Yeah,
of
not
the.
even that, but it was within a few minutes of the restaurant. Yeah.
So if we all made it to here, none we got the points automatically for the restaurant, and the group photo bonus. So here you can see all of us. We all met down there, did the group photo, giggled, and there was an extra. I think it was 100 points for the, or was it 200?
Oh, it was a lot. I wanted the picture, so it was like 600 points for this bonus. This was probably the highest point bonus in the packet. So it would have been it would have been tricky to miss it.
Yeah, you really had no excuse to miss this bonus because it was literally all right,
No, you
everybody. We're gonna
didn't. I
meet
mean,
down there.
literally, you said 5 miles. It was 5 minutes. It was
Yeah,
just right in the street. So
and that it was that. There's your devious rally master there. I want the picture. I'm gonna make it worth it to you guys.
Exactly.
You'd be silly not to go. And you would have been, because it was the easiest combo of the day. But
It really was. Yeah.
you can find our little
Plus, I
ragtag
just
group.
love that, but I just love that picture too. I kind of keep it on my desk, and I've got a stack of pictures on my desk that I cycle through, and this is one of them that's in that stack, and I think it's a cool picture.
It's an awesome picture. All of us with our rally flags. So
Yeah, it's cool.
I should probably preface the rally flag. Every rally has some kind of marker, and it's usually in the form of a rally flag. Now, Scott had the wisdom this year, instead of just giving us an actual little flag, make it useful. So he did these really cool knapsacks with the logo on it to be our rally flag, and it serves the exact same purpose. But now we have this cool piece of memorabilia from the rally that we can use for other stuff too. And as you can see on Scott's head, he also did the rally hats. Mine's in my Jeep. I live in that thing at work.
Yeah, cool.
So the um, the bonuses will usually say something along the lines of take a picture with your rally flag at such and such location, or in some of them, and this is where reading comprehension comes in, take a picture wearing your rally cap at this sign or this thing. So you
Yeah,
have
I
to.
did that.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh yeah, yeah, he did. But they actually made sense the way you did them, because a lot of the ones that I did where it was the hat instead of the flag, it would have been really hard to get the rally flag on the
With the
bike.
flag, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
because the rally flag ones will say the rally flag on your bike.
Hmm.
So like I have an advantage. I've got the trunk on mine, so I can just pinch it in the seam of the trunk and hang it down. But there's a few of these locations where he had used the cap instead, where I'd have had to do something really sketchy, possibly illegal, to do the bike. So that's the ones he made the hat instead. So he it was a really well thought out setup. It worked fantastic. But yeah, this what
Cool.
that was our takeoff. From there, everybody scattered. So everybody obviously has different directions, different routes, and different plans that they have put together. My direction was basically south. I had my main goal. I always, when I run these rallies, I pick one main major bonus that I am diehard gonna get, and then mine was the three corners. So I wanted to corner in three of the four states. And by corner, it doesn't mean you're going all the way to the corner of the state. There's a border area that your
It was the
rally is
corner
in.
of the rally, right? Yeah.
Right. So, like, in my case, I decided I was going to border in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. I debated doing Illinois, and it was kind of depending. Like, I was going to cut the Iowa corner off, but Scott, in his devious nature, and you're going to see a picture of this later on, made the Iowa bonus something I've always wanted to go visit, and I've never done it. So that Iowa corner was kind of a I'm not cutting that off for nothing. At one point, it's like I will do it. But this right here was one of the first bonuses I hit, and in the packet it says it's very descriptive on where this marker is and what's on it. But when you get to this park, there are several of these there, and you had to find a specific one. And this one specifically, it's a refrigerator sized rock. It has this a plaque on it, and it had just a quick blurb. And it's not by the rest of them. It's actually about 100 yards off to the side. So I actually ended up getting there at the same time as one of the other ralliers, and we're all over looking at all of these different markers, trying to figure out which one he's talking about, and nothing was quite matching up. And I go back to my rally packet, and I'm rereading the rally packet, and I just happen to look over, and I look at the other guy that's with. I said, "We're in the wrong spot, buddy." Now we weren't riding together; we just got there at the same time. And actually, I think him and I hit probably 4 or 5 bonuses throughout the day at the sea. Somehow our route got real close. But sure enough, we jump on, zip over here, and it was take a picture of your rally cap on top of this marker. And that was it. And I think a few people took theirs on one of the other ones.
Hmm.
So this is your reading comprehension, people.
Right.
And it was about 100 yards over. We went up, grabbed that, and then I got bonus fever. That was failure number 1. I started looking at this chain of bonus locations on the way, and I'm looking at my route. Now, I'll load all of the points into my GPS, and I'll have them as points interest. And then I've got very specific ones, and I write them all out, and I've got basically my list in the top of my tank bag, and I just hit that bonus number, and that's where I go next. And I do them in that line, but when you start seeing the little blips just off, oh, I can get that on the way to that, and then I can do that. Here's where that fails, though. That every bonus eats a few minutes of time. And if you're chasing combos, and those bonuses don't specifically link to a combo, that's a problem.
Yep.
And now I did have, this was Borgen's Cafe. I think that was Bonduel. So basically what I did is I came south out of La Crosse, went down through like Bonduel and everything, came down through.
Well, that's Westby, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. Borgen's is Westby. So yeah, I came over through Westby and I went south out of La Crosse. And then I went down through Dubuque and through the corner of Illinois and into Dubuque, and then I came up through Iowa, Minnesota, back to Wisconsin. But yeah, this was coming down through Viroqua, and there was a few different versions of bonuses outside of just the food ones. There was historical markers,
churches.
There was memorials.
Memorials. Yep.
Yeah, so there was a few. Like this was one of the
Overlooks was another one.
Yep, Overlooks. That was the one that bit me at the end of the day. But this is a historical marker, and here's failure number 1. So, there was a bonus in there, and there was an extra bonus for this location. This right here got me the bonus points for the stop. And there was, take a picture with your face in the udders wearing your rally cap. And I'm at this point already realizing that I might have stopped a couple extra places. They're not all my pictures from my bonuses are in here, but they're the reading comprehension part, and if I would have taken 10 more seconds to walk around, I would have seen that board with the face holes in it, which was the actual bonus, the actual extra bonus. And that was like 100 or 150 points. It was not a little bonus.
Right.
Well,
you of course had to kind of embarrass yourself and get in the little cutout and take the picture, which I always do that kind of stuff. So I'm right there with you. But at any rate.
And I'm 100% on board with that, except my failure allowed me to embarrass myself even more, because not only did I make a really goofy picture, I didn't get the points for it because I saw the little stools and did that.
Which was actually a very cool picture, but at any rate.
It gave everybody a really good laugh, because if you're going to fail hilariously.
Exactly.
So, continuing on, like for my rally, it was, all right, I'm going to start really focusing on these combo bonuses. And it was the 3 tacos. I did 3 tacos. I was doing my 3 corners. And there was a couple other, like indigestion, date night. And I was going to be able to hit them all. So it's like I still had enough in there. This is the next spot where Rally Master deviousness got me. So there were 2 bonuses in Dubuque, and it was Asian restaurant and a Mexican restaurant. These 2. So I find the Asian restaurant. I gear down, put my rally cap on, and I'm parked in the alley in the little parking spot next to this restaurant. So if you're looking at this picture, over to the left of it and around the corner. I go over, I take my picture. I get all of my stuff on. Get back on
That caught you? Oh, that makes me very happy. That caught you? Anyway,
oh, yeah, it
going.
did. I gear all the
Oh,
way
that
up,
makes me very happy.
program my GPS, and go, God damn it.
Awesome. I'm so glad that caught you. And that makes me very happy. You just made my day, Rob. Thank you.
This bonus, if you're parked in that alleyway, was literally across on the opposite
50 feet,
corner.
yeah, across the street, yeah.
If I'd have taken 10 seconds to turn and look, I'd have walked over to it and just taken the picture. Nope, geared completely up.
I had another one like that in Illinois where they were literally across the street from each other.
Oh,
And
man.
there were people who did the exact same thing you did. They got the picture at one, geared all back up, rode around the block, and came, oh, it's right there. And it was literally across the street. You could have taken the same picture from the same spot. So anyway,
So,
yeah, I got a kick out of that. Thank you.
I might look grumpy in this picture, but that's because I had just come off a 5-minute streak of laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. I was not grumpy. I was like, yep, that happened. That's funny. That's great. Now, I'm devious in the fact that I love that kind of stuff. I love it when a rally master's a little bit twisted and they do stuff like this because it makes you really think. Because now you're looking at the GPS. It does show the 2 points, and if you're thinking about it, I have the Nav 6 on my BMW, so I can use the little whiz wheel and I can zoom in, zoom out, move around through the whiz wheel. And I'd been zooming in and out, looking at points of interest for these other rally points, and I think I zoomed it a certain way where it looked like they were farther apart than they were. And then had I taken 2 seconds, I could have realized, nope, they're.
That's the thing. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, it was great. I
Situational
laughed.
situational awareness is my continual downfall, and yeah.
And
Anyway,
both of us have done rallies. Like, we're still guilty of it. And that's part of rallying. It's situational awareness. It's planning your ride. It's understanding where your stops are. Google Maps and the street views and stuff are fantastic for that. Like, I'll overlay stuff on there and play around. But I mean, to my credit, rally clock. That's definitely part of it. I also had a really sketchy night at a hotel that, yeah. So I was running on like 3 hours of sleep.
that's too bad. I'm sorry. I am sorry that happened. It is a tricky thing about being in lacrosse is that there's not much middle ground for hotels. It's high or low, and
Well,
low is low. So
and there's some spots like, okay, so just so everybody's aware, Scott did not plan the hotels.
nope, I
Um,
didn't. I said you stay wherever you want.
yeah, and it was. My wife is from that area. I lived down there for a long time, so I'm fairly familiar with the La Crosse area. And the hotel I stayed at used to be a really nice hotel,
Nicer hotel. That's true.
and it used to be in a really nice part of town. Well, apparently, over the 20 years I've lived up in Stevens Point, it has not that anymore.
No.
So, my failure completely. And I will say my wife's stepmom made a comment after I told her where I stayed. She goes, if you'd have called me, I'd have told you that.
Yeah, right. If
So
you'd have called me, I'd have told you that. Well, and in my defense, I mean, part of the issue is that many of the people who do these rides are are a little bit frugal. They'd rather spend their money on their motorcycle than on hotel rooms. So it's hard to find. I have a hard time recommending $150 a night hotel. That's all.
Well, and honestly, a lot of the guys on the rallies, a lot of people on the rallies, I'll say, will. You're right. They're. It's because we're not using the hotel for more than a few hours.
It's a sleep.
So, yeah, it's we come back from the meeting, set it on at a desk, plan out our route, get some sleep. That's the entire use of the room. So we just need a basic clean room. I will say the room was actually clean. The area, not so much.
Not so much, right?
So, and it was the other part of my failing there was my original intent was to stay at my mother-in-law's about 35 miles away. And with all the other stuff going on, and I had some health issues too, it's like, I need a good night's sleep. So rather than do the ride up there, because I had to ride all the way down from Point to La Crosse Saturday, and I did the meeting, and then I would have to ride back to her house, do all my planning, and her internet connection is sketchy at best. So I would have been fighting with that, and it's like, it was a last minute call for me to just book a hotel a few days before, and that's what I did. So hotel was my fault. It is entirely. It had nothing to do with rally planning. I know better for next year.
Right. You learn every time, right?
Yep. So as we're going through the rally, there was other stuff like bowling alleys. That was another part of it. Like a lot of the rally bonuses, I noticed centered around like a date night with your future significant other, or chasing around food, or things to do, or like the bowling alleys was another big thing on there. Ice cream shops, all the restaurants, things like that, and they're very specific ones. So it got us out and chasing these weird mom and pop places all over these 4 states, which has the added bonus of giving you quite the list of cool places to go. Just FYI.
Exactly. Right. The one thing I had was like, I believe there were bowling alleys and there were miniature courses on there, and
Golf
I
courses,
gave
yeah.
points. I gave points if you bowl the game, or if you played 9 holes of mini golf, and nobody
Yep.
took me up on that. So that just showed me that people came to this thing to ride, not bowl or golf. So there's
So
that.
that's where we get into the Rally Master deviousness of things they call sucker bonuses. Every rally has them. If you follow the Iron Butt Rally, you've always heard the running joke about Key West being a sucker bonus. Big points value, but it's going to chew a lot of time. And every one of his activity bonuses were just that. They were going to chew up some time. They were worth some points, but you were
And
going to.
have some fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like there was the mini golf one. There was in Galena. There's
There's the
that.
Alpine Slide.
Yeah.
I thought somebody might ride the Alpine Slide. That's pretty fun. Nobody did.
See now
But
the
to
Alpine
your
Slide.
point, it would have taken an hour.
Yeah, Alpine Slide is a riot. I've actually been on there because, I mean, we've gone down to Galena a few times. My wife's grandmother's from there. But that line, now you're standing in line and you're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
wait, and it's
Right.
a long line. Now it's worth it if you got the time, but
Exactly.
time
You know.
management. But they were
Right.
like,
And to be perfectly fair, I mean, there's people who ride these rallies who are hard charging and want to get a whole bunch of points and want to maximize everything. And there are other people that just go out and say, hey, I'm just going to have an enjoyable day riding around. I'm not going to worry about competing or anything. I thought so. I was trying to, I mean, call it devious if you want, but I was actually trying to appeal to a group of riders that said, "Hey, I just want to go out and have some fun, interesting places to ride." So, it ended up being devious in one context, but on the other hand, it was like there were some guys that came over from Iowa and said, "We just want, we there's Amish bakeries and other kinds of things around here, and we just like to find a couple of really good pieces of pie,
Oh
and they
yeah.
did.
Oh, that was a
So
running joke.
so it was perfect. It was awesome. So I don't know. I just feel like these rallies can appeal to just about anybody in terms of what their goals are for riding.
See, I call them devious just because of the way that I run my
Of
rallies.
course, and I
As
don't
far
take any offense at that at all. Just so you say, I do because it was devious. You're right. Unless if you were going to be a hard charger and say I'm going to ride this alpine slide, oh, it's going to take you an hour.
Yep.
Oh man. Anyway, so that aspect of it is devious. However, yeah, I don't care how many I hit. This alpine slide looks like fun. I'm going to
Yep.
ride it.
And
Great.
that is one thing that Scott did a fantastic job on is the mixture of bonuses and the mixture of points values. There was literally something for everybody. Now, one failing that I did make, and it was a minor failing, all of the ice cream places I hit before they opened.
Oh, that's really too bad. And it is kind of a bummer that this rally is on a Sunday because the bakeries and all that stuff that are actually really cool, all the Amish stuff is typically closed.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to be able to go into some of those spots because there are some really really nifty places around here that would be kind of fun places to stop, but they're
Oh
just
yeah.
not open.
But
So
there was a lot of them that were too. And it was
yeah,
just by the time I got to that point, I was running tight on the clock and it was my own issue. But
right. But
I had bypassed like I got all of my ice cream places in early like an idiot. So I by the time they were all open, I wasn't stopping in any of
well,
them.
on the other hand, it saved you a couple thousand calories, so there's that.
Oh, I burned a couple thousand that day too. So we were talking about the three corners bonus, and I had the one in Iowa that I was bound and determined to hit. This was it. I have never been to Field of
Now, I
Dreams.
thought that was a sucker bonus. So anyway, go ahead.
Oh, you had enough bonuses leading out to it if you didn't mind the
Yeah,
stretch. And I
right.
got I got cruise control.
Yeah,
And actually it was a pretty ride out there.
yeah. You're right. And by the way, that was an absolutely fantastic weather day for this rally.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't have scripted it any bit better. I mean, I worked really hard at that. I mean, I talked to any deity upstairs and said, please give us a nice day. I did a rain dance in the street. I did, not a rain dance, a dry dance or whatever. And I mean, I did everything I could do to make it a beautiful day, and it was gorgeous.
So what you guys don't see, and only us ralliers got to see on the email chains, was a video of Scott in his sunshine boxers dancing with the sticks outside of chanting a couple days before. No, I'm kidding. He didn't actually do that, but
But I might do that. I
it
kind of like
was
that idea.
close. May in
Kind of like that
Wisconsin,
idea.
May in Wisconsin can be dicey. Like
Yep.
it's either
Because
one extreme or the other.
the year before in 2024, when I rode the rally, it rained the entire day. I
Yep.
mean, not just rained, it was like biblical proportion type rain for the whole day. And I'm like, we just can't have this again. It's got to be a beautiful day. And it was.
Oh, it
So
was gorgeous. It
there's that. It was a
was.
gorgeous day.
I think it was bouncing into the high 70s, low 80s all day. The
It's
sun was
perfect. It was a
out.
perfect day.
Yeah,
Perfect day.
and that was so. Sidebar. I know I got a little bit of flack because I took over Twister for
Hmm.
MSTA, and it's always traditionally been in early May, and I moved it. I moved it to
Yeah.
June, and that was the exact reason because that May, especially early May timeline, you could still have snow on the ground. I mean, Wisconsin gets really dicey in that time of year. So
Right. You just never know what to expect.
yeah, and I do enough rider coaching where we're outside in the rain starting in April, middle of April. I get a pretty good gauge of what those weekends are like, and that weekend specifically, it's a 50-50 shot. It's either pouring rain and cold, or it's beautiful. So,
Hmm.
but Memorial Day weekend, by then we're usually fairly sorted, but the only thing you got to worry about at that point is rain. Now, I have had snow on my birthday, which is the 27th of
Mm,
May. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But we had a perfect day. It was glorious.
the perfect day.
Now, this Field of Dreams, if anybody is familiar with the movie Field of Dreams, it is literally the movie set. It is still there as a historical monument, basically. It's a tourist trap, but I've
Oh,
never
the
been.
Cubs have put. Well, the Cubs, the Cubs and Giants, I think, played a regular season game there.
Did they?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been used a couple of times for regular season baseball games.
Oh wow. God, I can't imagine trying to get that crowd in there because that
Wouldn't that be
parking lot is
fun?
not that big.
I know that's the thing. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, it'd be awesome. Now, how I've never gone over there because I love the movie. I've watched it several times through the years. It's a fantastic movie, and I'm right here. And somehow I've passed it many times. I've never gone there. So that was a goal. Sucker bonus or not, I was going to get it.
All right.
Now, the only downside is when I got there and I was taking the picture, every gnat in a tri county area decided that it wanted to
Oh,
hover around. They
oh,
were
that's terrible.
right right by the sign. It
For
was
what
like,
it's worth, I didn't plan that. Anyway.
yeah, it nature of the beast. It's farm country.
Yeah.
So yeah, just at that point, I was just trying to tie up my final few bonuses. It was getting late in the day, and I still had to do my Minnesota and Wisconsin corners. The Wisconsin corner was easy enough because it was on the way back, and it was not. You're talking
Not that
maybe,
far out. Yeah.
yeah, 30 miles north of La Crosse, so it was really easy to hit. The Minnesota one, that was a little bit of a trip, but not as far out as going through Iowa.
That was a long way.
Yeah, that was. I expected a little bit less of a trek, but hey, I got a couple of bonuses on the way out there. So,
Yeah.
and I think this was our Minnesota
That
corner
was the
bonus.
corner, right, in
Yeah.
Preston, Minnesota, right?
Now this one I shot a bunch of pictures of from different angles because I couldn't get a clear shot with all the traffic that was going on through there. So I figure one of these pictures has got to work. This was
Yeah, you
coming into
called on this
Minnesota.
one.
Yep. Now, running these rallies, the rally masters are always somebody is always available at the other end of the line. And if you've ever got questions on a bonus, call. I
Right.
walked around because I don't know disc golf at all. I know you throw a thing that looks like a frisbee into a thing with chains on it. And outside of that, my entire experience with disc golf is we had a disc golf course at the tech college right off of our motorcycle training range. They were projectiles for the students to dodge. That's my experience with disc golf. So I read the bonus and I couldn't make. It's like I thought I knew what it was, but it wasn't making sense in my head because I don't know disc golf. And I'm Googling and I finally acquiesced. I called Scott. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for this bonus. I don't know what these things are. Is this what you're talking about? And he goes, yeah, look for this
The one that
symbol.
says 16. It comes after 15. Anyway,
That may have been part of the conversation. But
I'm
most
just
things,
giving you a hard time, Rob. You didn't say it wasn't like that. This was kind of hard to find. I would agree.
well, once you knew what you were looking for, it was easy. But I'm looking
Right.
for, and it's, for me, golf, and I hear a hole at golf, I think a little hole in the ground with a flag. So I'm thinking, okay, are these markers what he's talking about? And it's these round posts or
Hmm.
posts with
And
these
you
round
wouldn't have
signs
known
on them.
that. So,
No,
yeah,
but that's where calling your rally master, clarifying, hey,
absolutely.
and he did. He clarified it. Everything was good. I got my bonus. Away I went to my corner bonus in Wisconsin.
That was a fun one. I like that.
That was cool. And actually, I wasn't the only person on a bike to pull in to take pictures at this party wagon.
Hmm.
I didn't run
Really?
into, yeah, I didn't run into any of the other ralliers at this one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just really late in the day, and I think a lot of them did the reverse. They went
Yeah.
reverse of me. I went south and back around 3.
Yeah. You're right. I think a lot of people went the other way.
Yeah, though there was a lot of them that were chasing a lot of bonuses up in the northern part of Lacrosse, which I skipped out
Mm-hmm.
on, and
Yeah.
then um, they went over and were hitting a bunch in Minnesota, and I only did a couple in Minnesota and a couple coming back through. But as I was there, I had like a couple groups of guys on the Harleys coming through to take pictures with this thing. There was actually there was a group of 5 people on Gold Wings that pulled in just as I was gearing up and leaving, and they were doing the same thing. They were pulling in, and one of them had seen me putting my rally flag away, and he goes, "Are you doing
How you
some kind of an
doing?
event?" And I told him about Bonzai, so he might actually show up to Bonzai next year.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, and then back.
And you're back.
Now, after this one in Trempolo at the Jailhouse Party Wagon, that's where I was making that decision on. Okay, God, it's only our cutoff time was 5:30 or was it 6?
30.
Yeah, 5:30, and I looked at my watch and I'm like, it's only quarter after 4. Granddad's Bluff Overlook is in Lacrosse. It's on the way
Oh,
back.
you got caught by that.
And
Okay.
I'm like,
Mhm.
coming down, it's like, I'm in a straight shot. I'll come right down, I forget the highway number, and I should know it because I used to run it all the time when I
16.
delivered. Yeah, 16. Coming down through there, I can just dip on it, come into the middle of town, take the little jaunt on the highway, come down through the middle of town, come across the bridge in um, on Alaska. I'm right
Mm-hmm.
there, and then from
Right.
there, I just shoot up the back way through town, and I'm at Mirage again.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot. I throw it in the GPS just so I've got the marker for the specific overlook. And I come down into town. I turn down, go past like there's a Harley dealership and stuff. Get down onto 16, take the right, and there's traffic cones and stuff everywhere. I'm like, and then I see the in just
This
the
road's
sign,
closed.
bridge out. Now, I know Lacrosse enough to know some of the back ways around. I'm like, okay, that's not necessarily terrible. I know another way to go through from here, and it's down and going by the old quick trip distribution center.
Mm-hmm. To the industrial park. Yep.
Except I go down and it's closed down through there too. Because where they're
Right.
rebuilding the bridge, it shut that section of road down. It's like,
It was crazy. It was closed all summer. So
oh
that was a real
man.
bummer.
And I didn't. Now that's my fault for not looking at road closures, things like that.
Always disappointed that the GPS doesn't tell us that though. But at any rate, it doesn't route us around those road closures. But
So
it is what it is.
if I was running Google Maps, it will. But
Yep.
I was running my straight navigation because I didn't
Yeah, I
want to run
know.
my
But I
own.
mean, like it. I know. Yeah, you're right.
Well, and I looked up the detour. It's like, okay, what are my detour options? Because I'm running tight on time now. And the 2 detour options to get to this were both like a 45-minute detour. One was going all the way
Yeah.
back through West Salem and up the backside. The other was going all the
Yep.
way around the other side of Lacrosse and up
Right.
the
Right.
other way.
That's only your only real options, right?
And it would have left me no time. I'm like,
Yeah.
because I think
You
I
don't
got,
want to chance it
yeah,
because I didn't have any. You had to be back at 5:30, I think.
on the dot.
It might have been 6 and 5:30. I mean, you had to be back at 5:29:59.
Yeah.
Um, 5:30 would have been did not finish. And there was a person that pulled in at 5. I was using my phone 5:29:46, and I thought that is cutting it about as close as you want to cut it.
Oh yeah, that's panic mode. And I figure,
He wasn't panicked. I was like, dude, you just made it.
yeah, and I think I got back at, I think I had like 15 minutes to spare, 15, 20 minutes.
That's a good number.
Yeah. And honestly, like, but that didn't leave me enough time to get the Granddad's Bluff Overlook, which means I missed that whole combo.
Combo. Right,
Now,
right. Which can suck because I mean it can that can like blow your whole rally up.
well, now the one thing I will say is that wasn't a combo I was planning on. It was one that
Hmm.
it was I can get it. I'm gonna get it. I just kind of noticed later on in the rally, it's like this might actually work too. Now, if I'd have picked an overlook somewhere else in the rally, I'd have had it in spades. And funny enough, that would have been enough points to bump me up one more spot because I think me and
Right.
the second place spot were only a few
Hmm.
points apart.
Right.
So yeah, it was one hell of a day.
Yeah. It was a fun day.
Oh, it was. There was
So so I don't know. I mean, what would can we talk a little bit about 2026?
yeah.
Is that okay? So I've already got the rally planned for 2026. It's not planned yet. It's not completely done. I got it about half done. Um, it's on May 24th, which is the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. And so if you're interested, come on down. It's a perfect rally for someone who's never done a rally because it's only to 10 hours. The roads are gorgeous, so even if you have a quote unquote bad rally day, you won't have a bad riding day. That I can promise. I made some mistakes this year in terms of the rally. I mean, it all worked out okay, but there were a couple of things that I think about. One is that all the bonuses were photo bonuses, and that's okay. But it would have been more fun to mix it up a little bit and put some questions in there and that kind of thing. So as I'm planning the rally for next May, I'm kind of doing that already. So that's all good. And then my biggest terrible mistake was that I am not a regular coffee drinker. And
Oh
that
no.
rally started like at 7:30 in the morning, and there was like a quick rider meeting like at 7, and I didn't have coffee. And to those who drink coffee, that was like sacrilegious. So I feel terrible about not having coffee there, but I won't make that mistake again. So
Yeah. See,
so there's that.
I stopped and grabbed I drink coffee,
Right,
but
right.
usually in the mornings like that, it's an energy drink of some kind.
Yeah,
Zero
right,
cal energy,
right.
like one of those in the morning and one of those in the afternoon. I'm good.
Yeah, but I'm not going to mess that up in the next year. I will have coffee. Um, and I appreciate uh, some of the clever bonus names. So I've already got a couple combo bonuses that will drive you crazy, Rob. Um, one is called Mr. Twister, and another is called Sister Twister, and then we've also got Mr. Sister Twister. So it should
Oh
be, and I think you'll get a kick out of those. So it's going to be a fun ride. And every road I've been on, I've lived in this area for like 30 years, so I've ridden around a lot, and I'm finding roads as I've found these, as I'm working on this rally that I've never ridden before, and it's been a lot of fun. So and then the other thing is that like when I planned the rally last year, I am a big fan of rallies, and I'm passionate about it. I'm terrible at it. I'm not a good rally rider, but I don't care. I still enjoyed doing it because for me, it's quite the brain puzzle in terms of getting myself ready, getting the motorcycle ready, planning the route, understanding the tech behind the GPS and all that. And for me, all that's a kick. So I don't really care how I do. It's nice to finish well, but I don't really care that much. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. But at any rate, I actually got to do two more rallies. I didn't do the Bonzai Rally, obviously, because I ran it, but I did. Team Strange ran a rally. It was a 24-hour rally called the North Star Rally. I had a blast at that. And then in the middle of August, I did a rally in Brainerd, Minnesota. Brainerd, Minnesota, called the Dog Days Rally, and I had a blast at that too. So
was that team?
the North,
Was
yeah,
that Dog Days? Was
good.
that Team Strange too?
I think so. I mean, it was on their website, and Randy and Connie Gabrick ran it, but it was just a lot of fun. And what I liked about that rally was that when I did the North Star rally, I had never done a 20 rally before, so I was in the rookie class, and I won the rookie class, so that was pretty fun. But I left 1,500 points on the table, which pissed me off. So my goal for the dog days rally was to do like you said, Rob, plan a ride the plan. So my goal was to ride the route I planned and not leave any points at the table. So make sure that I got all the bonuses that I went to. And I met both of those goals. However, this was a 10-hour rally also, 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. And I completely overestimated how long it was going to take to get to each bonus. Or to, I was done at 4 o'clock. So I had
Oh
2 hours
wow.
left. And unlike you, I wasn't smart enough to bring all the bonuses in to the GPS, which I won't make that mistake again. But I didn't really have a plan after. And I could have easily picked up a lot more points. But I was happy that I rode the plan. I rode what I planned. And I got all the bonuses that I went to. So um, we'll go from there. Uh, I've got a couple rallies I'm going to do next year. I'm doing one at the end of October. Actually, I don't know what this is all about, but it's a 8 hour start from anywhere rally. So
Oh
we'll see how that goes. It's kind of interesting. And then there's a rally that's run by a guy named Paul Tong, who was the rally master for the Iron Butt Rally this summer. And it's a 6 day rally. I'm going to do that. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be my first multi day rally. But I'm looking forward to all of that. So
yeah, I've
it's all
followed.
good. It's a
I
lot going on. Yeah.
I've so yeah, and that gives us a good opportunity to kind of dive into what's going on in the long distance world because I know if you follow it, last end of last year there was a message that went out. Basically, Iron Butt Rally was dead. There was a problem with insurance, which it was silly because in 40 years of that rally running, they've never had any kind of a claim, nothing. Like it's, but as anybody that has to deal with insurance will tell you, and the companies have lost a boatload of money over things like the hurricanes in Florida and what and North Carolina and things, and they're getting very risk averse, and it was really hard to define what these are because they see them as a competitive race. And trying to tell them, yes, it's a competitive event to a point, but it's not a race, and you're trying to do this back and forth. They couldn't find an adjuster who could understand what it was. And it was also about the time, Lisa Landry and Jeff Earls were kind of on the fence about retiring. Like, this was going to be their last rally, and with all the insurance headaches and hangups, they hung it up. And kudos to them. They have been staples for so many years and done such
Well,
good.
and being a rally master, I mean, it was a lot of work for a 10-hour rally. I can't even imagine what it takes to put together the Iron Butt Rally that's 11 days. I can't even imagine how much work that must be. So,
Yeah,
obviously, hats off to them because that's just a ton of work.
yeah, and think about it: a 10-hour rally in a very small location versus an 11
Yeah,
hour,
it's
11-day rally across
right,
essentially two countries.
right.
Because it's all the U.S. There's stuff in Canada, and when we say all the U.S., the only state not included is Hawaii. Alaska will have bonus
Anything
locations.
else is fair game, right?
Yeah, if you can ride to it on motorcycle, it's they're gonna have bonus locations. So it is very, very much. It does. It's held every other year for a reason. It takes 2 years to plan this stuff. So yeah, no fault. There's everything was kind of on the fence, and they were trying to figure out how to work around and make it still work. And there was Paul Tong has been doing the LDX rally and the Heart of Texas rally for years. Paul is a veteran and just an absolute rock star in the long distance rally.
Creative guy,
Yes.
really creative.
Very, very to the point, very, very technical, but he doesn't mince words. He's very clear in what he expects out of every location. Like, that's one thing I will give Paul Tong is there's no gray area when you read that. It is very specific on what to do at every bonus location and for every bonus. And if you don't do that, then, you know. Now, he's also the same guy. His team put together an app to run their rallies. That's not something Iron Butt ever did. So he pioneered this long distance rallying app for these rallies, and it works fantastic. I know there was a little bit of an issue this year with some of the people running iPhones due to one of the updates that happened just before the rally. And that's kind of been a contention they've had with the Apple ecosystem off and on since they started the app. And it has to do with the way Apple works permissions. So that aside. But rally guys, the rally staff is always available. And you get immediate response on your points through their app too. So you'll get an email with a receipt saying, hey, here's your stuff, here's your picture, here's your voice note, whatever it is. But this is the guy that took over Iron Butt Rally this year, and it was really fast. So
I don't know how he did that.
Dude, his team hit the ground running.
I guess, but
And
it was a huge accomplishment.
Now, I know this year they did a really cool thing where it was like Shadows of IBR or History of IBR. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that was part of how they were able to put it together as fast as they did. Was they took winning routes from veteran legacy, like they had a route from Wendy Crockett, they had a route from Mike Kneebone.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Jeff Earls route. They had these
Mm-hmm.
routes and they had a couple different ways you could run the rally, either all 11 days out or you could do the checkpoints. So it was kind of at your and then you had to go hit all of these points. But I mean, and he worked with the same group that he worked with for LDX to do the insurance and put all that together, and they were able to cut so much staff work out of the Iron Butt Rally and make it so much more efficient. I know
Because of the
there's
scoring, because of the
yeah,
app.
yeah, that app made a
Well,
huge
and they did a
difference.
whole bunch of stuff up front too. Like there used to be this big tech inspection at the
Yep.
rally, and I don't know how that actually played, but I know they got a lot of that in advance of people showing up. So it wasn't as that wasn't as much time as it has been in the past. But
Yeah, and that was and Paul Tong runs very efficient rallies. So if you followed the Iron Butt
and
World,
creative. I mean, I've been looking
yeah,
at the LDX rally from last year, from 2020. Is it 2024? Right?
yeah,
No.
because I think LDX runs alternating years to IBR.
It does, the IBR. So it was 2024. And it was, I mean, it was amazingly cool. I mean, you had like these big bonuses, but in order to get it, it was like an attack, like a war thing, like Earth versus aliens.
Yeah.
And the 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 big bonuses, the big points, you had to make attacks. And so you had to basically build an army before you could make the attack.
Uh huh.
And building an army meant going to smaller bonuses. And then by the time you got to the big bonus, you had to have an adequate attack force to get the bonus. And then
Yep.
once you used it, it was done. So then you had to go write a bunch of smaller bonuses and build another attack force. And then, I mean, that's next level.
Yep. But that's a Paul
I mean,
Tong
that
rally.
is next level. That is next level. So
Yeah.
that's very cool, very creative.
Yeah. I love the way
Um,
his team runs all of their stuff. I've I've never gotten a chance to run a Paul Tong rally, but I follow every one of them just to see what
Yeah.
wild stuff
He
they
comes
do.
up with. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and
It's
it was
crazy.
that way.
The rally flag was one of those like 5 pound ammo boxes or whatever that you carry around that had your rider number painted on it. It was like, this is just darn creative right here.
Uh
This is pure creativity right here. So
Well, and I know this year, um, so Mike Kneebone was very much involved. Mike Kneebone has been the head of Iron Butt Association and the Iron Butt Rally for years. Um, he's like the face of that group, and this has been his baby for majority of his adult life. Well, he was very heavily involved with Paul Tong taking the reins, and they threw in one of the sillier ones I found was I think what was it? Bring a crab leg or a lobster, like an actual
oh yeah, I read about
from
that.
from a
You had to bring
seafood.
back a crab leg.
Yeah, and carry it with you through the whole rally. And if you know anything about seafood, when it goes bad, it goes really rank. So, yeah, that's the kind of silly stuff that they'll throw in, and
It's just plain fun right there.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's ways to alleviate some of that, but whatever it is you do to do that will not be worth fixing afterwards. Because I know like there was some people that did like little coolers or in Ziploc bags stacked on Ziploc bags on like, some people actually did it.
Yep, they did.
So yeah, or like you said, his 5 pound ammo can for a rally flag. And if you're out there for, I think the LDX runs what 7 days.
I don't know. I think it's different
Yeah,
every year. I think.
and it's a multi-day rally, and we're not talking 1 or 2 or 3 days. We're talking, I think it's 7 to 10 days. So
I don't know. I think this year it's the website says May 2nd to May 8th. So I guess that's either 6 or 7 days, depending on how you look at it. But yeah. So it's not a full iron butt, but it's still a multi-day rally.
yep. And now you've got a 5 pound ammo can that you've got to try to figure out how to work into all your stuff that you're already carrying on the
Yeah,
bike for
where
a
does it
multi-day
where do you put the
rally.
darn thing? I mean, that's kind of I mean, you see some of these people that like do really well at this have a very defined system, and it probably doesn't include a can like that, but
Nope.
got to do.
It does
And
then.
and like it was awfully interesting or wonderful that a I'm sorry, and I forget it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, yeah, that's the thing. Whatever, like you get these veteran ralliers, they've got a very curated system that they have set up, and you
Yeah.
throw a 5 pound ammo can into that, and they go,
Or
"Oh
whatever,
no!"
one of those boxes like yay by yay. I don't know what you'd actually call that, but that was like it's what it is. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess he's used some really clever things like for like 45 record, the old 45
Oh, the music gear.
records, that kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I just admire that creativity, way beyond anything I could come up with. But good for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and to his credit, he also these are not cheap rallies to run for a reason.
No, no,
No, they're like
they're
Iron
not.
Butt Rally, especially. Iron Butt Rally is expensive. Just
Yeah,
the entry fee alone is a couple $1,000s.
yeah.
But it's that way for a
LDX
reason.
is 970. LDX is 950, I think.
Yeah, which honestly, for what he does with LDX is
No, no,
it,
totally. I'm
yeah.
not complaining. Not no complaint. It's too much work for it not to be that much, and he does a first class job. Everything is for first class.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
that's an adequate price. The Bonzai Rally, on the other hand, we try to keep that cheap. So I think what we're looking at for this year is going to be 50 or 60 for somebody who's run a rally before, and 20 for a rookie.
yeah,
And we break even, and we even are able to get a little bit more and give some money back to charities. So that's it's a fun day. So I don't know, Rob, I don't know if you're ready to wrap this up or what you're thinking about, but
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up. I think we've chewed up everybody's on the.
Right. So, I mean, just a couple of things I'd throw in there. I'll see you tomorrow at the Slimy Crook Crud Run, and if you've never been on that, and you're even close to like Madison, Wisconsin, it's well worth doing. If all you do is just go and look at motorcycles, because you'll see every kind of motorcycle under the sun at that. It's not really that much. There's not really much of a ride involved, but the motorcycle viewing is great. And the other thing is that I don't know if you have the ability to put like a link in a show note or whatever, but if you're really interested in this rally thing, there's a website that most of them use to basically to provide rally registration. And so that's pretty much where you'll see information on most of the rallies, I think, that are run in the US. And I think it's jasonjonas.com/ridemaster. I think is the website, but
Yeah, I know
I'm
it's
not,
RideMaster. If you send me the link and
I
I'll
know
put it
it's
in the show notes.
Ridemaster, but it's,
Yeah,
yeah, I can get it for you. I'm pretty sure. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. It's rides.jasonjonas.com. And that will get you a full list of all the rally rides that are in play.
yeah.
So,
Send me that
and
link and
you'll see
I'll.
them. They're already doing it in the next year. So I'll send you that link.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes for anybody that wants to catch it and look and see. You know, we have members all over the United States. Look for one of these 10-hour rallies close to you. I mean, obviously, if you're in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, come do Bonzai with us. You're going to have fun.
It's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be fun. So,
It's.
all right. I
And
just sent you that link.
for any of the paid members of MSTA, watch for your November, December issue because I actually did a full article in there on the Bonzai Rally with a lot more detail, more pictures, all of that. So keep that in mind. So watch for that coming out and come rally with us. It's
Yeah,
not.
come ride. It's going to be a blast.
It'll be awesome.
And I'll keep doing my dances and manifesting and praying and whatever else I can do to make sure we have another gorgeous other day. So
Yeah,
feel free.
he'll have help from Stevens Point. No rain,
Yeah.
no rain. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
All right. All
All right,
right.
everybody. Have a
See you.
great
We'll see.
day.
We'll see you tomorrow, Rob.